Okay, good morning dear students. Now today in today's class, it's going to be the continuation of the chapter Judiciary which I had started last week. Now in the last week's video, if you have watched, I've done up to the Supreme Court in India. And I've covered everything which comes under the Supreme Court of India. That is right from your composition, to your tenure, appointment and jurisdictions also. Jurisdiction, that is original, appellate, along with the other powers and functions. Understood? So in today's class, I'll be starting with the Supreme Court of USA, because I clearly mentioned in the beginning that in India, as well as in USA, Supreme Court is the highest or the apex level court. Understood? Now here in today's class, I'll be starting with the composition, tenure, appointment and removal of the Supreme Court judges. Now the first one, that is your composition. Composition means your strength. How many judges are there? Now here in USA, you have 1 Chief Justice and 8 other judges. So this is the composition of the Supreme Court in USA. Total, there are 9 members. 1 Chief Justice, 8 other judges. Now what is the tenure of the Supreme Court of USA? In India, now please remember, India, it was 65 years where the judge retired at the age of 65 years. Whereas in USA, it is 70 years, which means a judge retires in USA at the age of 70 years. Then you have appointment. Now in USA also, the judges in USA of the Supreme Court, they are appointed by the President. But here there is a slight difference. Though it is appointed by the President, here approval, or you can say ratification of whom is a must? The Senate is a must. This we've also done it in the chapter Legislator. So in USA, all the important and major, not only the Supreme Court judges, but all the major and important appointments are made by the President, but it has to be ratified or approved by the Senate, which is the upper house of the US Congress. So that is under the appointment. Then you have removal. That is, how are the judges removed? As you know, it's very, very difficult to remove the top or the high-ranking officers. Understood? Why? Because they belong to the top high-ranking officers level. So it's very difficult to remove them. So here, even if a judge has to be removed, he can be removed only through the process of impeachment. Again, this we've already come across while we've done Indian Supreme Court as well as in the chapter Legislator. So here, a judge of the Supreme Court can be removed only through the process of impeachment. Now here the question is, who impeaches him? So impeachment is a very difficult process of removal. So here, who impeaches him? Now here, the impeachment proceedings are conducted in both the houses of the US Congress. And both houses of US Congress are the House of Representatives and the Senate. But here, again, the Senate has an upper hand to play. Why? Because here the Senate stands as a court of impeachment. Means the final decision is always given by the Senate. Understood? Again I'm repeating, removal through a very difficult process of impeachment, because it's very difficult to remove the Supreme Court judges since they belong to the top high-ranking officers. So here the impeachment proceedings are conducted in the House of Representatives and by the Senate. Now the House of Representatives may frame the charges against the judge, but the final decision is given by the Senate, because remember one thing, Senate, it stands as a court of impeachment. So this is just a gist of the Supreme Court in USA regarding your composition, tenure, appointment and removal. So now we come to the jurisdiction part. Okay, now if you look at your textbooks, under jurisdiction, okay, there are two things which are very much common to India. That is original jurisdiction and appellate jurisdiction. Okay, now same like in India, here too, original jurisdiction, the meaning is the same. Okay, like I explained in the previous video, here original jurisdiction means there are certain cases, okay, which cannot be taken to any other court except for the Supreme Court. So that is called original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court in India as well as the Supreme Court in USA. Which means certain cases are there, or in simple language you can say there are certain cases which can originate only in Supreme Court, not in any other court. Okay, so that is called original jurisdiction of Supreme Court in India as well as Supreme Court in USA. Now there are certain cases, okay, which comes under this original jurisdiction. Now in case of USA, if there is any problem regarding two or more states, or if there is a problem regarding the ambassadors, ministers, then such cases, such disputes directly go to the Supreme Court of USA. So this is the first jurisdiction, original jurisdiction of the US Supreme Court. Okay, then you have the next one, again similar to India, appellate jurisdiction. Now here, I told you in the previous class also, appellate comes from the word appeal. Okay, now here appeal means when you are asking for help, okay, you are making a plea. Okay, now here the Supreme Court is considered, please remember this, not only in India but in USA also. The Supreme Court is considered to be the highest court of appeal. Now here, highest court of appeal means the Supreme Court hears the appeals, the pleas made by whom? The lower level courts. Now for example here, if the High Court is not able to settle or solve a decision, okay, or not able to make a decision, give a judgment, what can the High Court do? Can make an appeal to the Supreme Court. Means what is the High Court doing? It's asking for help. So here, during such circumstances, does the Supreme Court hear the appeal? Yes, Supreme Court does hear or does accept the appeal which is made by the Supreme Court. Why? Because Supreme Court is the highest court of appeal. Now here, not only does it hears appeals made by the High Court or any other lower court, but here Supreme Court also hears the appeals which are made by the people. Now for example, if I have a case in the High Court, okay, but I am not satisfied with the decision which is given by the High Court. So what can I do? I can always make an appeal to the Supreme Court because I am not satisfied with the judgment or the decision which is given by the High Court. Okay, and if I make an appeal to the Supreme Court, will Supreme Court hear or accept my appeal? Yes. Why? Because Supreme Court is the highest court of appeal. Understood? Then, apart from your appellate original, there are other powers and functions. Now, please, I'm telling you this again. Whatever powers and functions we have done for Indian Supreme Court, okay, those functions and the functions of the Supreme Court almost the same. Now, for example, here, protection of your fundamental rights. Now, here, this was again there in Indian Supreme Court. It's there in the US Supreme Court also. For example, here, in USA also, the Supreme Court protects and guards the Constitution. Okay, not only does it guard and protect the Constitution, it also protects the fundamental rights of the people. The first thing, it guards and protects the Constitution. Why? Because in India as well as in USA, Supreme Court is considered to be the highest court of appeal. Apart from that, Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Now, hence, in India, okay, and in USA, Supreme Court is the highest court of appeal. okay, is the highest apex court. So what does Supreme Court do? Protect the Constitution. Why? Because Constitution is the supreme law of the land, the highest law of the land. In India, in USA. Why? Number one reason, because in both the countries, Constitution is a purely written one. Clear? So as a result of which, our Constitution needs to be guarded and protected. That is why we also have this system of judicial review. Remember, I've done this again. Judicial review. Why? Because in India, USA, since as I said, Constitution, the supreme law of the land. So this judicial review is mainly conducted to check the validity of the laws which are being passed. Because I've already mentioned, because laws passed should only be constitutional, which means as per the rules and regulations of the Constitution. Okay, so therefore here, understood? Supreme Court conducts this judicial review. Why? Mainly to protect and guard our Constitution. Why our Constitution? Because our Constitution is the highest or the supreme law of the land, which everyone has to obey it. No one can go against the Constitution. Okay, that is another, you can say, function, guardian of the Constitution. Then another one you can say is that protection of fundamental rights, because again, fundamental rights, the basic rights which every citizen ought to enjoy. So therefore here, what does Supreme Court do? Also guards and protects our fundamental rights. Why? Because no one should be deprived of their fundamental rights. Everyone should enjoy the basic rights and liberties which they are supposed to enjoy. Because if we citizens, if we are denied or deprived of our rights, what can we do? We can go to the court, we can make an appeal, we can file a case, and we can fight for justice. Okay, and the court shall give us needy justice. Why? Because the court is there to provide us with justice and to protect our fundamental rights. Okay, so these are just few powers and functions of the Supreme Court of USA. So if a question is asked on Supreme Court powers and functions, you can mention the two jurisdictions. Okay, that is appellate, original. Then apart from that, protection of fundamental rights, guardian of the Constitution. Then one more which is common to India is Supreme Court acts as a court of record. Now here, Supreme Court acts as a court of record means all the evidences, testimonies which are there of the previous cases which has already been solved. Okay, those evidences, testimonies, they are kept as a reference. Why? So that it can be used in the future as a reference. Because a similar kind of a case might come up. Okay, so if a similar case comes up, such evidences, okay, such testimonies can be utilized in the future. So in India as well as in USA, Supreme Court also acts as a court of record. Understood? Okay. Then there are just two topics, simple, just the meaning you need to study of this, that is judicial activism and judicial restraint. Okay, now I have already given you the syllabus also. Now please remember this, from judicial activism, okay, judicial activism, you just need to study the meaning, okay. Then judicial restraint, again, is just the meaning. So today I'll just explain in brief what does judicial activism mean, what does judicial restraint mean. Now here, judicial activism means, by the word activism, what do you mean? Judiciary becoming active day by day. Now here, why is the judiciary becoming active day by day? Because judiciary is entrusted with a lot of powers and functions or responsibilities, you can say, of giving justice, okay, providing fair judgment to the people. Okay, so here judiciary has become very, very active. because the responsibility lies with the judiciary of protecting the constitution, okay, then protecting our fundamental rights. So because of various reasons, judiciary has become very, very active. Not only that, here, okay, through the judiciary, they are keeping a check on whom? The government, okay, the different administrations, okay, so that each and everything, for example, environmental pollution, okay, that can be checked by whom? By the, you can say, the decisions, or by given by whom? By the or by the guidelines which are given by the judiciary. Illegal constructions, that can be checked by whom? By the guidelines which are provided by the judiciary. Okay, then here also comes a question of PIL, that is a public interest litigation. This also has been encouraged by whom? The judiciary. Why? So that the people get free and fair judgment. Okay. Then comes your judicial restraint. Restraint means limit, okay, restrictions. Now, though the judiciary is active, okay, judiciary is doing a very good job, it's becoming active day by day, but in spite of that, there are certain limitations or certain restrictions imposed on the judiciary, which means judiciary cannot be given unlimited powers. Though it is given powers, but there is a limitation, a restriction to a certain limit. It cannot exercise its powers anytime, anywhere. Okay, there are certain restrictions, certain guidelines, you can say, which the judiciary also has to follow while giving judgment or while carrying out its duties and responsibilities. So understood? So this much for today. Now in the next class, I have just got one last topic left, that is judicial review, meaning and the features of judicial review. Okay, so thank you class.